day 3. I'll be with you. I'm Yasu, joined by Gideon, and I have also the TAA himself, tactical analyst Arashi. Let's together and let's carry on throughout this marathon. We have an eventful day, and also I would like to welcome you to this game that's gonna happen here between Team SMG and Nepal's for Miracle Esports.
Now, M5 is powered by Munto and presented by Kadia and supported by ROG, the official gaming phone. Grab the official super app partner, and let's not forget about Secret Lab, our official chair partner.
Thank you for all the support, guys. You guys are the best.
Well, if you don't know already, the ROG Phone 6 is M5's official gaming phone, and it backs the game-winning power of Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1 chipset, right?
Ooh.
And also with the class-leading Game Cool 6 thermal system that lets you break every limit.
Yo, don't forget, it also comes with a spectacular 165 Hz AMOLED display and a monster 6000 mAh battery life to power all your gaming needs. You can game all day, every day. You don't even have to be concerned about charging, bro. That's freedom.
Well, speaking of like eventful days, I think that there are some events that are not happening with us here on the stage.
Really?
What's going
today,
on? It happens to be Leo's birthday.
So you
Whoa,
know,
from Team Falcons?
not that Leo, not that Leo,
Oh.
not the L-I-O Leo, and L-E-O Leo.
Oh, Mr. Dan!
Yeah.
So to everybody here from the Wildcards, happy birthday to you, Leo, out there. Stay healthy, my guy. But importantly, let's come back into this game, because again, after content like for Miracle, we heard it from Mr. Clock himself. They want to make sure that the next generation is going to have an easier time. And maybe even if they perform well here today and make it to M5, they just might have their dreams come true.
Well, it is a race against time, and we have Mr. Clock himself. So do you think that the clock will be ticking to the favor of Team 4 Miracle, or do they need a miracle to play and to win against Team SMG?
Man, a lot of word games available right here,
Yeah.
man. I think I wouldn't go as far as to say a miracle, right? I think they have a chance. It is the wild cards where the wildest of things always happen, but there's a lot of things they have to really iron out, man. We're not really seeing their main weapon, you know, something they can really use to really take advantage of SMG. Although maybe in the late game, right, as you mentioned, the clock might be ticking, and for SMG, the fact that their Lord usage was, in day 1 at least, not so optimal. That could be something that For Miracle could use.
Possibly. I think that For Miracle right now is starting to recognize that once you are getting to the higher levels of play, snowballing is so much easier for coordinated professional teams because the game can only go on for so long. Once we get into the upper echelons, at least then there is some kind of a default, a base standard of what the early game should look like, and then you have the outliers like Homeboys, for an example, Deus Vault, and there's also, you know, teams like we saw earlier, Umbrella Squad, hyper aggressive.
Well, there is something that's might be a wild pick, and it might be a wild card for Team 4 Miracle, which is I've witnessed Leslie in their arsenal. They were doing really good on that gold lane protection, using and executing that gold lane meta. It was like babysitting the gold lane was called Protect the King, where the marksman is the king. And trust me when I'm telling you that Yahiko is being treated like a king in Team 4 Miracle, and there's a lot of pressure on him. But you know what's also wild, before we hit into the draft? They use Gord mainly.
They mainly use Gord. That's a strategy we've occasionally seen. Funnily enough, in Indonesia, sometimes it does make an appearance. So for me personally, it's not too crazy. That pick has great pick-off potential. It has great burst potential if you're playing for pickoffs. If you can lock someone down and hit them with that Mystic Gush, Mystic Field combo, it's going to be a lot of burst damage. And in the wave clear department, I think that's one of the main strengths of the Gord. I played it way before it was meta, and it feels so good, man, to just place your skill down and just walk away.
It just sounds like you're Naisu pilled right now. I mean, if Gord was so good, why isn't he getting played more often these days? And you know, in the previous meta, maybe where the tags were so tough and so hard that you really need some form of true damage to get through them. But I feel like nowadays, the mobility is an important aspect.
But we have said actually quite the same thing, or like it was so similar about the Valentina because it wasn't like brought up that much. So should we say the same thing about Gord and then like as a reverse caster curse, right? Reverse caster curse, and then we bring it up.
So caster blessing.
Yeah, caster blessing.
Because we have those as well, by the way, on the
We really do?
Exactly.
Is that our thing?
Even Mirko, shout out Mirko, he has the caster curse, but he also has the caster bless.
So we have two pacifists.
Exactly.
It just depends on which.
Seasonal.
So which is which?
Huh?
Which is like his passive in a good way and in a bad way? Which is his curse and which is his blessing?
It depends on what's going on the day.
He's like Lunox, man. Sometimes you have more order, sometimes you have more chaos. You don't know which ult you're going to get without the indicator. That's the fun of it. And I think that in this particular case here for Miracle, their biggest weakness was that early game. Thankfully, they're matched up against Team SMG. They're very methodical. They're not the hyper-aggressive type. They're very standard.
But actually, after saying that Leslie and Gord are one of their main picks and like it is in their arsenal, actually the first thing that comes to my mind is that both these picks play really good on the true damage.
True damage. I mean, especially in the late game, the true damage becomes such
Yeah.
a good component, man.
It's
Being able
real.
to blow through all the defenses. But another thing, that's the point that Guido was making earlier, right? Along with the true damage, it's that late game situation because, in a way, we like to say in the MMA community, styles make matchups, right? Even if on paper you're supposed to win, if your style just really matches well with your opponents, sometimes that can be good, or it can be really, really bad.
It could be, but it's time. We've got Malaysians on both sides this time round, but will it be the Nepalese representatives taking away in 4 Miracle on the red side against Team SMG, the favorites to take a spot to M5 here at the Wildcards on the blue side?
It is quite a challenge. It is quite a challenge. Team 4 Miracle right now, they are up against the favorites. And right now, actually, Team SMG are banning. I'm not gonna say they are focusing on a certain person or even a meta. It's a little bit messy. I think it's. Are they like taking an apple from each tree, like one assassin and one XP roamy-ish pick, and then a gold laner?
Yeah, for both teams, it's kind of a weird situation right here. Because if the idea is to deny a strong gold laner, then why are both teams banning it out, right? They're kind of like banning towards each other. Makes me kind of feel that maybe the attention was going to be on the mid lane instead, right? That's how I think it's hinting here.
Okay. We're not seeing hard target bans, but at the very least, we're getting a rough idea of what's coming out, right? At the very least, I could say that Bruno Sasa absolutely hates dealing with it. He doesn't enjoy playing it too very often, and that's why going for a Guinevere as a overall good flex pick for the side of Team SMG is a good way to open.
At this point, I think that Nolan is forbidden.
Yeah.
He's taboo.
15th ban, I think.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly. And by the way, big change right here. Masarab is actually in the roster. I just realized that. So there's a bit of a substitution going on from Miracle. The previous data might not be as accurate any longer.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point here. And I'm guessing that's why they're going for the Trizla pretty early on, and they're pairing it up with the Valentina. See, Caster Bless actually works. It's working out for the first time in a very long time, to be honest.
Yeah,
We'll
it
have to
is
see.
working. It is working. Maybe, I don't know so far. I don't know about myself, but I don't know if I have a curse, like a caster curse or a caster bless. Let's figure out throughout the series itself. So far we have seen that actually maybe I have a caster curse because I started this series saying that we will not see Guinevere that much, and it just keeps on coming as a roamer, as a jungler, as like anywhere and everywhere. So yeah, maybe I'm cursed after all.
Maybe. I mean, you also predicted for Falcons and they did not come out on top yesterday. There is that as well. For now, though, let's get back into the game. Oh my lord, this is an insane draft here. Guinevere, Faramis, and Mathilda. 3 very hotly contested picks. And for Miracle, Teresa and Valentina can be good. And technically, they have dealt with the Faramis by having the IMU from Valentina. But with the Mathilda and the Guinevere, I think they're going to be outmatched when it comes to beginning a fight and following up on a fight as well.
I think what you're trying to get there is outmaneuvered, because at the very least we're thinking at, like, you know, surface level. She steals the ult. You try to pop the call altar once again. Oh, sorry, the Nether Realm as they call it nowadays, and then your opponent decides to do so. But with the Matilda, at the very least you can get a little bit more flexible with it. So I very much like the Akai locked in for the side of Miracle to add that second layer. Yes, it's not a guiding win, but at the very least it's a disengage.
So Guinevere with 100% win rate, that does say that it is quite dangerous that she is open, right? With
For sure.
Like 100%, as like whenever she is picked, she wins.
Well, the stats don't lie, man, but now that you've mentioned that, you get concerned. You just said that maybe there's some kind of curse element working right here. Well, we see the win rate finally break the 100, or is it going to continue being one of the most dominant heroes in the wildcard series right now? The X-Broke, though, banned away from Miracle.
That's new.
We haven't seen it
Yeah.
so far. And it's responded by Ixia as well. This is a wild drafting phase.
Yeah,
it is a wild card after all.
It is the wild cards after all. That is fair. And shouts out to somebody else who's also having a birthday. Apparently, Lung, the analyst from the side of Team SMG, is having his birthday. Thanks to one of the audience members pointing it out. Once again, shout out to the SMG crowd out here. But let's get into that final ones, right? I'm guessing that Team SMG, now that they've already kind of predicted or expected to get this winning matchup for the side of Sasa, that's where I feel that Coach Pao is going to be focusing on for their last ban. But I'm not sure about for Miracle.
Well, I think that both teams have prepared so well because they do have some wild bans already. They have the X-Borg, they have the Ixia. Maybe we'll even like see something way wilder that we are already seeing. But why pressure the gold so hard so far, even though no team has secured that gold lane?
I think in a way, it might be a benefit for the side of Miracle. We were talking about how they like to play weird gold laners. Now with all the common gold laners banned out,
Yeah.
SMG might be the ones thrown into unfamiliar territory.
So is it a Beatrix or a Clint thing we will see here?
Potentially. I know that Sasa can play Clint. I know that he plays Beatrix as well. If we're looking at Miracle's side, the most standard modus operandi in this particular case is going to be the Beatrix. Very reliable, and even if you're losing lane, you can just clear the wave and not interact with your opponent.
Do you agree, Mr. TAA?
I think the wave clear is definitely something that can be used for sure. For Miracle, they do go with that Beatrix, man. So wave clear, in a way, does favor them. So we'll see, with wave clear, what can they get? Because with Akai, the assumption is that it's always going to be about the neutral objectives, but we've seen that Akai can be used aggressively to just pin people down with the heavy spin as well.
Yeah, we can see that there's also something new here. A new fact, Miko chose a gun to control his emotions and handwritings in his arm to remind him to become. So Miko have his own like pre-game preparations just to be in the zone.
The chewing gum thing, it is real. It is real. He does that throughout the entire season of MPL MY. The handwriting, interesting way of putting it, but yes, the writing on his hand, it's a Team SMG thing. It is so that they remember what they're supposed to do in that game.
I thought it helps him like with his handwriting. I didn't know that he writes.
He has literal writing on his hand. It's one of those things. It's a Team SMG thing to kind of keep them in the zone.
It's almost like a checklist on their arm, like a grocery list, but with a Diggy as well. That's interesting because the engage from SMG isn't very ultimate reliant. So going with a Diggy, there's going to be times where the Diggy is going to be forced to use the time journey, and there'll still be things available for SMG. Although the fact that they have alarm bombs to try and scout out, along with having an Akai, there are ways for sure for them to maneuver around here. If they can kite back in and out of a fight or catch Stormy, then maybe that is where they can get a big advantage.
Well, actually, Team SMG is like quite confusing while they are drafting because I've seen Saxa play Benedetta just perfectly in the jungle. So at a certain point, I said like maybe we'll see something really wild and we have like a weird mix. But I think let's get this game started.
All right, with that being said, welcome everybody to our second best of 3 match here at the wildcard stage of the M5 World Championships. One of these teams are looking for the win. Let's find out who. It's gonna be Team SMG up against their opponents for Miracle. SMG on the blue side, for Miracle on the red.
Will they choose to be violent? Will they choose to be serious since the beginning? Or they don't show any, they don't choose anything right now, but to wait for a bit, to cool off for a bit, to just like, let's say, analyze everything at this short break until the marshals see what's wrong on the stage, just to make sure that this game will be fair for both sides.
How much do you want to bet that on Team SMG, on one of those players' hands, it says expect a pause?
Expect a pause? I mean, it's very possible. We talked about a bit about this yesterday, man, because in theory, it's just a pause, but there's also a lot of things you have to keep in mind during this time. So you can't really forget a lot of things that you have to do, especially in the beginning of a game where every single second really counts for the rotation, for the jungle clear. So having a checklist on your arm, that could be the new meta. So take a look at some cosplayers right here. The Leslie, that is well known for Miracle, and the Lo Yi.
Wait, when did they get here? I'm pretty
didn't see
sure
them
we
coming.
walked from the stage to the table. I didn't see any cosplayers. When did they just suddenly appear?
They used the relocation.
Oh!
Lo Yi, dude, let's go!
I should have known. I should have known better. But I think for the most part, right, when we're leaning in towards what's going to really affect the game, this Terizla, yes, it is a problem because you want to kind of collect together, you want to pop on the Nether Realm, and all of a sudden the penalty zone comes out. But have you witnessed Smooth on this Benedetta? He's kind of nutty with it.
Well, at least after this time finishes, we will see soon if they will manage to make that Benedetta work. And will they manage? Like, I seen that Team Umbrella Squad are cheering for a certain team. Are they cheering for Team SMG?
Hard to say which side they're sitting on. I think they're in front of them, but then it could be reverse. Oh, they're on for Miracle's side.
Well, that was, I think that was Marl and Black March, if I'm not mistaken. And behind them, actually, you're seeing yet another cosplayer. They're preparing to show him on the stage, looking kind of fancy with it too, dude.
Way.
Yo!
No way! Okay,
hang on,
okay,
hang on.
they can't see it on the screen. Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
But I need to throw that. It is the most, let's say, awaited reveal for a cosplay.
Well, we haven't seen it. We're not going to see it just yet because we're going to go straight back into the Land of Dawn for now. Here we go.
We are now in. We are 1 minute in without anything, without any casualties, no invading, nothing is happening at the Land of Dawn for Miracle, just playing the basic game, and also at the same time, Team SMG are doing the same thing. But what's actually so annoying is knowing how much that Guinevere can flip everything around, especially if she went for a full tank set.
Oof, you see the golden here. Yahiko getting zoned out a bit. I'm concerned a bit more about the Diggy right here. Because in theory, with all the such mobility, the reverse time can be a huge problem, man. You think you have a dash, you can get out. Before you know it, you get pulled back in, and that's the end of you. That could be used very well by the Matilda. Miko running the basic emblem as well as a clock on the Diggy. So they're both going to be having a bit more of an attrition battle, and they're both just waiting in the gold lane.
Yeah, as I told you, they are treating their gold lane as a king. Yahiko and Clock on the top lane. They are in their each other, like having each other's back, and at the same time, Team SMG are doing the same exact thing. So far, so good. So far, no kills, nothing is happening except for that like little invade from the side of Saxa. But Team SMG might be cooking something.
I think if they're going to try and make something happen, it will be at the neutral objective. But with Lunatic Panda being there, whoa, he's going to jump on.
They go in pretty hard with the Electro final blow, and I think that's also the Petrify coming out from Smooth, but unfortunately the angle just wasn't there. This turtle should still fall into the hands of the side of Team SMG, because at the end of the day, the Akai was chunked out.
Was it a really good move to just leave that turtle for free?
Well, I mean, what can they do otherwise? That's the problem with having your main tank also being your jungler, right? You're prone to getting poked down, and Miko is trying to go for a 1v1. A bit ambitious, but backup is available, but they get flanked out.
Up top side, Stormy, he's able to get hold. The time reversal pulls him back in, but look at Xerox, he's right behind Miko. Miko should be confident in getting out of here well, because he knows that the Nether Realm was the stolen all and not the circling eagle.
I don't know how much Wait, what
He's
happened?
going back in. He's going back in on that top side, right? He's still annoying Lunatic Panda. This has got to be a little frustrating.
I was about to tell you how much courage does it take to just keep annoying Akai while knowing that he has his ult ready.
Well, I mean, you can see the rest of the map, but now Saxa coming in.
Oh, but the Violent Requiem has already been used. Good hits, but now Masara can look to punish this. Even the Retribution had to be committed to try and get him out, but no, Saxa still going to be giving first blood over to Formerical.
Masarab takes the first kill. It is actually a really good first blood in terms of like, Teams SMG have been pressuring the jungle for Formerical, but on the counter, on the irony of it, Team SMG's jungler is the one to fall first.
Well, Miracle responded really well to that aggression right there. And they're, just dealing with the harass pretty okay. They don't really have any sustain tools, but generally they're all tanky enough. The Serox.
Oh, he gets pulled over the wall and is forced to use Netherrealm super early on. Miko cannot go any further than this. No Circling Eagle for him, but keep in mind, 22 more seconds until the next neutral spawn.
I think at some point, I actually just watched the SMG names, but before that there was like a lot of ultimates and a lot of action happening at the mid lane. But looking at the names, Smooth, Saxa, Stormy, Sasa, I think that Miko needs to change his name to something that starts with an S.
Sicko.
Yeah, maybe Sicko.
So he can go sicko mode.
He's going sicko mode. That'd be awesome. Honestly, that'd be really, really cool. But in the meantime, let's see. Next neutral objective, we're seeing that SMG is already on top of it, and they're continuing to be annoying to Lunatic Panda. Circling Eagle, and they're getting Smooth, who's rotating way too fast with Rizla to keep up, to continue to invade and be annoying. On bottom side, we do see that 3 members are trying to get some gold plating. Don't get too much of it, but here comes Stormy as well as Miko, forcing Clock to flicker out of there.
Mind games. Mind games.
Difficult time here for America Esports. They have the Akai, but they don't have any pressure in the waves, in the lanes to really try and gather around the turtle objective. Masarab in particular, it seems like he's having an okay laning phase, but he's never been participating. And Clock.
Okay, they managed to get the ult out of Clock for now, and that means that bottom tier 1 is going to fall. Ooh, Smooth was looking for the angle, but I think it's a little too soon, and now they start pulling back. They don't want to press that advantage and give away free kills.
Well, I wouldn't say Formerical need a miracle anymore to win against SMG, but SMG are forcing their base. I would say like they have so much confidence in whatever they are doing whenever they are invading, laning, walking in the map, having macro and micro skills. But on the other side, Formerical so far, I think so good.
For Miracle, I wouldn't say so good. 2k gold disadvantage against a team that's so aggressive like Team SMG. Not to mention Sasa still farming up without getting any interruptions at all. It's going to be a bit difficult in the late game.
What about their late game though? For Miracle, what about their late game?
They have the Beatrix and Valentina, so some damage. And they have utility in the Diggy, who has washed the flesh of the Oasis, by the way. So the time journey can be used as a saving tool.
Ouch.
Beautiful play. Setup coming in for the side of Team SMG. Guiding winds straight into the Circling Eagle to pull Saxa through. And now they're instantly invading on the orange side of Formerical, pushing out Lunatic's Panda once again. Miko, he's being annoying, but Xerox, he needs to maintain his farm. Unfortunately for him, he can only back up his teammates in the lane. Unfortunately, not press it into the jungle.
Miko is irritating, Miko is annoying, and he is playing those mind games to Lunatic Panda. He's just whenever or wherever Lunatic Panda is in somewhere, he knows that Miko is waiting just by.
Miko now has the flank of the Oasis as well, so it's going to be an equal shielding battle later on. But I think the big difference right here is Smooth, man. He's been around the place, and Miko just very casually drives by, gets some information. Can he get punished though? Smooth.
I think he should be fine. I think his eye for an eye came up a little bit earlier, but he doesn't mind getting pulled back to try to bait something out for the side of Formerical. 110 seconds until we do see the first Lord spawn of that game. But again, if we're talking about Avatars, it's 2-0.
Yeah, I think that at this point, I wouldn't say Team Miracle don't need a miracle. I'm not gonna like use that phrase so much, but Team Miracle at a certain point have to do something, because so far they are not even trying to respond. They are just on the defensive side.
They can't really do much when their laners are just losing 1v1, especially with Smooth going in there. Serox!
Oh no!
Whoa,
They counter-circling Eagle to get himself out of there. Very dangerous stuff with Team SMG. Walking up even closer. Panda quickly dropping the heavy spin on towards the clone, and that's a major ultimates. Big ultimates for the side of Formerical's resources already gone.
That's the problem right here. They're just using all their ultimates defensively, so they're kind of getting a chance to really counter-aggress. Yahiko now trying to get something on Smooth.
He should be okay here. He should be totally fine. He's got the ult, he's got for the eye for an eye. doesn't even need to sweat it. I told you, his Benedetta kind of cracked.
Yeah, you had so much confidence, Gideon, when I was saying that. I didn't have the same confidence about Smooth, but it seems like you know the guy so closely because Petrify not needing to use that Petrify.
Well, here's the right moment to try and go for that Petrify plays. But right now, look at how For America are playing, man. They just force a group together, and they're losing objectives left and right. They're not dropping any kills, but the gold difference is slowly but surely catching up due to the farming speed of the members of Team SMG. And look at Sasa, dude. He is 2 levels ahead, probably leagues difference in gold. As Miko just does this casual certain eagle, it looks troll, but he's getting a lot of information for his team right here.
Yes,
well,
he does.
I need your insight, Arashi, about this. So is a 5v5 like a fight, like all 10 members on the screen fighting together? Who is supposedly gonna win 5v5?
Well, that depends. I'm inclined to believe it's Team SMG, right? More sustained.
Because of the
good
gold
AoE as
or
well.
the composition?
Composition and gold, a bit of both. For Miracle, the only real advantage they have is the beaches with the AoE ultimates.
Wow.
But they won't even let him do that now. Shredding the Lord here, that's the true damage coming in from the carry.
The Circling Eagle has also been popped again. Information, Smooth and Miko continue to be a nuisance in For Miracle's side as a free Lord falls into the hands of Team SMG.
I don't know if I can count that as a win to Team 4 Miracle, but so far they haven't lost the life of Yahiko, and also they only got 1 kill behind. But that's why we actually expect in international events and international tournaments, we don't see so much kills as how much the mentality of the players, how much the macro skills matter, and how the drafting is. So 1-to-1 kill. Even though there's no much kills, there's so much happening in the Land of Dawn.
I think it's one of those situations where it's not even about the kills for Team SMG, it's about pressuring the enemy jungler.
Yeah.
Particularly if you look at the items as well, Smooth is up there, man, with a 1 to 2k gold difference. Lunatic Panda just can't get a good engage right here. With the wave clear though, they will be able to defend, and this is where a lot of people are saying Team SMG starts falling off, man. They don't have long range damage right here, and they usually fall victim to a good base defense.
Well,
so if For Miracle Esports can hang on right here, they still have a chance to come back into the game.
Well, that was my question at the first place. That was my question. Will Team 4 Miracle be able to make a successful or pull off a successful defense by having that composition? And I think Yahiko can buy some time for Team 4 Miracle.
I totally agree with you, Yasu. I think that this is, even though you are 8k behind, it's one of the more ideal situations for Miracle. Obviously, they would want to shorten the gap, but it's really not up to them. It's all about, hey, is Team SMG going to make that move, make that first move, make that first mistake, and then we punish?
Especially when they're up against the base right here. Team SMG, we've seen them play a bit too passive almost. This is that threshold right here where, for the most part, a lot of the core items are completed for Team SMG. This is the mid-game power spike that they can really take advantage of, but they're not, right? They're still waiting around in the jungle. They have started freezing the waves right here, so for Miracle Esports, it's going to be very difficult to still get the same level of income. So this is one way they can push their advantage. I think they're going to bank everything on the next Lord.
Well, based on my personal experience, I don't know about you guys, I want you to also share your perspective about it, or like share your stories with me. But have you ever seen such peaceful match, just 1 kill to 1 kill, and it, like how low was it in terms of kills based on your experiences? Was there something around that finished with a 1-to-1 kill? Like, can the game finish?
Oh yeah, easily. I think it's what we call MPLPH, where the entire league plays the game at a very high level.
So there is a league for that?
Oh yeah, there's an entire league. It's in the Philippines. It's happening in M5. If you don't know about it, now you know. But that's the thing, right? We're expecting a lot of action to happen. But Team SMG is one of those like slow compounding, like we'll start early and then we'll slowly build that up and eventually we'll choke you out once we claim everything across the map.
And they already did. They claimed everything.
Claim the whole jungle, but this is the problem with the freeze, man. A lot of the minions does fall to other minions, so here's a chance for Miracle Esports to get some gold income. We're gonna try and find some information, some vision to try and go towards the Lord, but it's gonna be a bit too difficult, man. Now they're on the run.
I think that today Lunatic Panda is gonna have some nightmares, and definitely those nightmares will include Miko, because he was seeing that man's face everywhere across the map. I would like to literally just like have a round of applause for Miko. He was so annoying to a way that Team 4 Miracle cannot even move from their own base.
And now with the Lord coming in as well, they have a chance to go for a big fight with the Netherrealm. Now is when if they go for a big all-in, it's hard to imagine them falling short in the proper fight, right? The goal difference between the Benedetta and the Terizla, for one, means that there's a frontline difference. Even in between Kerry and the Beatrix, man, 3k gold diff, already having the win of nature.
Wow.
There's a chance he can just stay in the front there and just shred people down.
They are worlds apart.
Here it comes. The Lord is going to be able to charge in and crack open the first inhibitor for the side of Team SMG. They've got a synchronized split, but now they're trying to get on top of Clock and force him to use it all. Lunatic Panda tries to capitalize on it, and even with the retribution from Saksa to slow him down, that's 2 inhibitors down for the side of Team SMG. Barely interacting, but forcing the correct ultimates for the side of 4 Miracle. Now looking for the end. Saksa gets a great knockup. Oh, saved by the help of the mid laner. It's not over yet. He manages to go and reset. Masarup is taking too much damage. The proc doesn't kill him, but Yahiko still holding up strong, very, very healthy, and worse yet, it just means that Team SMG will attempt and will succeed in getting the last inhibitor from 4 Miracle. But whoa, Smooth, hey, let's calm down. Pulled back and dead.
Oh my god, they are just holding on the edge. Team 4 Miracle losing all their inhibitor turrets, but did you manage to see that second skill from Diggy and then it was cancelled by the Akai Arashi? Like, there was a message at Team 4 Miracle.
Yeah, that's unfortunate as heck, but now Sasa gets pulled back. That's a reverse time gaining,
Okay.
but Masarup does not land the penalty zone. You gotta be a bit more calculative on that, and you have to try and clear on the reverse time. Like you mentioned, Yasu, earlier, there was a reverse time that got almost cancelled by Lunatic Panda, pushing Saksa away from the fight. Now Miko once again scouts with the Circling Eagle. Without any base turrets, seems like for Miracle Esports feels some momentum shift. They were able to get the kill onto Smooth. I was gonna say it's a shutdown, but actually he does not have a kill.
He actually got even his blue.
Miko does take that purple buff though.
Yeah, purple. So yeah, I'm colorblind.
Don't worry about it. We have another friend who's also colorblind. But I mean, for now, from the way that I see it, this is, I mean, it's a pretty slow-paced game, but it's very atypical of Team SMG, right? They like playing for advantages, and considering the real-time win rate, 67% to 33, it seems about right.
Well, watching Team SMG before we come here to the wild card, I had to believe that these guys are robots. They just like move in a really synchronized way. They want the objectives. They are not looking for blood. They are not looking for team fights. And so far, I think that's quite much it.
Oh, hold on. Miko forced the flicker out of there, but that does mean that the heavy spin has been utilized. Doesn't get any benefits whatsoever, and I think 4 Miracle are going to call it here, right? Unless Lunatic Panda is going to live up to his name to steal this Lord, Team SMG secures another one.
Do you think that they could have engaged that Lord?
Right there, I feel like it's a bit too late. You're just a bit too into the party, and with a 11k gold lead, unless you get a really good setup, I don't think you want to risk it. Now they have to defend against the Lord, and I think the only real advantage they have is the tankiness, right? They have 2 frontliners compared to 1. If they can both really zone Sasa away just for a little bit, that means that the backline can just be a bit more active, and we've seen Smooth get chunked down to half HP off the back of a single Renner's Apathy. There is a chance that 4 Miracle Esports can catch him off guard yet again.
Well, Quack can make a surprising move against Team SMG by cancelling all their crowd control and even by applying some crowd control from Lunatic Panda, so they do have a chance to pull this defense off. But I think that it's going to be so hard, even having that Beatrix and the clearance possibility.
All right, this might be the final moments. Saksa immediately finds onto Masarup, gets out of the spatial migration. Smooth goes into the back line, puts the time reversal, and it's going to be Namiru's passion to try and hold it off. Both Netherrealms are going to be popping Smooth, go straight into the base, and that's game number 1. The lowest kill count we have seen today here at the Wild Cards.
Breaking records, breaking bones, breaking everything. Team SMG takes game 1.
A clean execution, man. Reminiscent of the Philippines, like we were talking about earlier. What an insane performance. Everything was calculated, and they know when to turn it up. Before we were questioning their Lord usage, but look at that, dude. They used everything perfectly, and there was just no answer back from 4 Miracle. They gotta try and solve this problem. either in the early game or in the team fight executions, because it's just not working out.
Yeah, I think, at least for the side of Team SMG, it really shows the experience, the target priority. It feels like they have eyes on all ends of the map.
Well, actually, from my side, I think that at this moment, at this exact moment, when Team SMG had something to say, Team 4 Miracle just had to listen and to listen carefully, because every time Team SMG was going in, they didn't hesitate in taking whatever they think it belongs to them, and actually it did belong to them eventually, because Team SMG wanted the turrets, they got the turrets. They wanted the gold lead, they got the gold lead. They wanted the lords, it was just as easy as taking like a piece of paper and cut it to 2 pieces. So Team SMG was in control and in charge of this game, and they were in command of every movement. And as I told you, they were the ones who attack, and Team 4 Miracle just had the opportunity to defend.
I think that it begins in the laning phase, right? Especially in that EXP lane. Masarab was struggling hard, man. And even afterwards, he can really participate in the games as well, in the big team fights. But this is going to be your MVP. The man with the chewing gum, the man with the writings on his arm. It's Miko on the Mathilda. And can you, it's just such a great performance, and 100% kill participation, technically, but, the amount of kills are very, very low in this game. He just knows when to go in, and his scouting was just so difficult to deal with. Just circling Eagle again and again, and even if Miracle tries to punish him, he just finds a way to turn it back around. Miko, man, give him utility heroes that can really carry his team, and he will make it happen.
For me, I think that Miko, at a certain point, like by seeing that freeze item, he was planning on annoying Team 4 Miracle even further. He wanted to engage at a certain point and just like freeze.
Exactly, he can just bait out a lot of things with the guiding wind, with the circling eagle, and to a degree with the winter truncheon as well. So he can play a lot more aggressively, but you can see that his focus right here is to be that utility, right? He has the Flask of the Oasis, the Enchanted Talisman, and the Necklace of Durance. So his whole goal here is not just to go in and be the front line, even though technically there isn't a lot of front lines available. SMG, they're just that confident. And in the early game, despite their great start, they lost Sasa to this early game aggression. But afterwards, look at the plays, man. Cutting away members of 4 Miracle away from their safe zones. It just makes it so difficult for them to run away, especially because they have such low mobility. Like the Diggy and the Terizla, what can you do when there are people between you and your base?
Well, I mean, you just got to do what Team SMG do. Lay out a bunch of Legos on the floor, and hopefully when you're rotating, you step on one of them, and it's too late.
And you look at the coordination right there. That was the heavy spin that canceled out the reverse time. But afterwards, Smooth was just a bit too zealous with it. Gets pulled back here with the reverse time, gives a kill away. But overall, it's still fine. He was so confident as well, moving against 5 people, despite the fact that he was particularly squishy there, losing half his HP. And look at Miko here. This is a great move, pulling away the bombs from the Lord, denying the fast clear, allowing them to use the Lord in a more efficient manner.
Well,
I have to say, 4 Miracle have some good ideas. It's the execution, is it not?
yeah, but actually there was one moment in the highlights that actually caught my eyes. I think that at a moment, Benedetta had all Team 4 Miracle aligned underneath the ultimate, but if it wasn't for the second skill from Diggy, it was just gonna be a really good, like, clean, slicing moment for that Benedetta, and it didn't work enough. I really wanted to see that smooth execution from Smooth.
If you look at his emblems, man, he went with the Festival of Blood, he went with the Fighter emblem. It's all about that aggressive style. And it really worked out. 1v1 against a Terizla, usually you would expect a Benedetta to struggle just a bit, right? Especially when you're dueling. But Smooth doesn't care, man. He just wins out in the clear. He goes around in the jungle. And if you look at how he was rotating, right? The rest of the team are going topside. He'll just farm up the bottom side jungle. So as a secondary effect here, Lunatic Panda also falls back heavily in the gold department. If you look at the gold right here for all these teams and the items, of course, Sasa in this game was completely untouched, man. In the fights, he wasn't threatened. In the laning phase, they weren't able to gank him and get anything meaningful. Everything from the turrets to the Lord to the turtle right here, and even the purple buff, they only gave away 2 to Lunatic Panda. And it's not even just Saksa coming in and stealing it. Sometimes Miko and Smooth, they go in and they become a huge problem in their own right.
Well, I would like you to hold on to that, but I would actually want to ask Gideon a question. So, a 3-2 result is actually something that we will see, and like you said that it has its own league, right? So it is normal now.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the most normal in the world, considering that we have a lot of other MPLs going on at the same time, but it's definitely towards the highest level of styles. I mean, considering that the amount of gold from Sasa coming out at 754, even though it was an almost 16-minute game, still kind of surprising. It just shows that it's a play style, not being greedy.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, for Lunatic Panda, it just feels like he wasn't able to get anything really meaningful in this game. No real big pins, no real big catches, and if the idea was to use it for the neutral objectives, they really did not get a chance at all, man. We thought that with the double engaged threat, the penalty zone and the heavy spin, maybe For Miracle can get something, can really threaten something from SMG, but it seems like for SMG, they just dealt with it one by one, and they move on to the next thing. Very calm and calculated.
But for Miracle especially, I don't think when we get to see all the damage from the players themselves upon like the other players, not the turret damage, I don't think that there was like so much team fights and like being pushed away. I think they were like playing so passive to a way that they just avoided playing against Team SMG.
I think they were concerned about the early game situation here. And against Faramis and Mathilda, can you really blame them? Right? We said it earlier, the first phase, Mathilda, Faramis, and Guinevere was taken from Team SMG. And that is a lot of super prior heroes that are usually pick or ban. So they have a lot of crowd control, they have a lot of sustain, and more mobility as well. So that on top of the carry pick is what makes it so difficult. Because even if they're able to get onto carry, can they even burst him down through the Nether Realm and the Guiding Wind? I don't think so.
Well, I think both of you are making some really good points here. I do agree with Yasu a little bit where they needed, like, For Miracle needed to try and bait something out of Team SMG. Maybe get an ult, or maybe wait for the spatial migration, and then maybe look for something to occur, and focusing down on Stormy in particular. However, on the other side, I think that Team SMG played this great, right? They made For Miracle react to them because of the advantages that they were creating in the lane, like you mentioned, in the earlier stages with the high mobility that they have. But at the end of the day, at some point, you need to be able to break even, and I think that should have happened once Team SMG had a 3.2k gold lead. Maybe For Miracle just needed to go in.
I mean, especially with the EXP lane losing so hard, right? You can see that for Miracle, they're putting their attention elsewhere, but the EXP lane like kind of did its own thing. And so Masarab there, not really having the advantage in mobility or clear against the Benedetta, he just slowly but surely starts falling behind in gold and in presence as well. With the Akai and the Terizla just not having enough items to be tanky, how are they supposed to actually contest ground against SMG, right? They're trying to move in closer into the jungle just to get some information, and even then, they get poked down, they get hit again and again, and they were just forced to move backwards. So without your front line able to get in position, how are the backlines how are they even supposed to try and carry the game, even with their damage?
Well, I think it's time to spice things up, because there is a saying in Arabic that says, when you have nothing to lose, this is the best moment for you to risk it all. And I think for Team 4 Miracle, they have to risk it all for the next game. So I wouldn't personally like to see them play passive. I wouldn't like to see them playing defensive. Actually, I want to see them playing on the offensive side. I want them to play aggressive. I want to see what can Team 4 Miracle bring up to the table if they were the ones who was taking the risks.
I'm guessing Mardis or something along the lines like that. You know, something really early game oriented.
Probably, man. Something a bit more dominant and a bit more reliable crowd control as well. Because you can see that for the most part, for Miracle, especially in the early game, aren't really deterred. They're not really scared to really pick a fight with SMG. But with an Akai, with an Akai and the Diggy, there's not a lot of things they can really do to try and get a catch, get some pickoffs from the side of SMG, so it makes things quite difficult. And I think for sure, you gotta contest or ban some of these heroes, man. At least take away the Mathilda or the Faramis, right? And the Guinevere to a degree, maybe they can pick it up as well.
I actually really agree with you. The Matilda became a problem. It was like the kind of like the gel that kind of made this team that has a lot of mobility already have an extra layer of depth to it.
Exactly. And if you consider the fact that For Miracle were second pick, right? They were able to get two heroes first. They went with the Valentina and Terizla. And that's where the Matilda and Faramis was just completely let go. So I think they must have learned from their lesson right now. So we'll see. Here is that shout out to Long.
Oh, wait, was that? How many A's are there? Happy birthday!
It was way too many on this one.
Well, there's a lot of happy birthdays here today because it is an eventful night. And as I said, when you have nothing to lose and you have everything to win, you have to just do it all. You have to go all in, and that's what I'm asking from Team 4 Miracle because after all, what happened?
Sorry, Lung just missed it. He looked back for half a second and was like, what? All
Let him
right.
focus, bro.
Oh, boy.
It's a big moment for him.
It is a big moment. It is a very big moment. And hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to be something clean for the side of Team SMG. But as you were saying for Miracle,
Yeah, actually, as I told you, Team 4 Miracle have everything to win at this moment, and they are not in a really good position. They're not even in a good position at all. Because if they lost this match and they lost like 2-0, and yesterday, or like the previous match, they lost also 2-0, it wouldn't, not just like, it wouldn't look good for them. It is the end.
Yeah, they gotta find a solution that works right here. And maybe they have to play around with that early game, late game mindset, right? Like what exactly they want to do. If they want to contest against, for both teams, right? If they want to really contest in the early game, then they get the appropriate tools, right? Wave control, crowd control, burst damage. That's all the tools that are required. If they don't, then play accordingly, right? Get the crowd control, the utility to save your backline carries later on in the game, and even early on from dives, and then just avoid all these turtles, man. Just go for the trades on the other side of the map, and you can still get kind of close in goal difference if you go with that route.
well, as we get into this drafting phase, we're hoping that 4 Miracle is going to be maxing out their strength stat in this particular game, and hopefully they'll be taking it away from Team SMG to bring it to a Game 3. We see Joy, we see Valentina instantly banned out for the side of 4 Miracle, Guinevere, and as well as Fanny for the side of Team SMG banned out.
Well. As we have spoken a little bit about 4 Miracle being in a really bad position, Team SMG are absolutely the counter, because right now, Team SMG, if they win this game, this is their ticket to go to the playoffs. So, SMG also have everything to win here, to not even be needing to go to the Falcons game later on tonight. So, if they win this game, they at least secure a top 2. So, they both have their reasons. They both have their own motivations in a way. But which motivation is the strongest?
I think for both, it's got to be pretty strong, man. SMG to represent, for Miracle to pave the way for the next generation. We'll have to see if they can, if they can channel that energy into this game. But without the Matilda and Faramis banned away, is SMG just planning to trade it? No, they go for
Nolan!
Wow, they picked up the Nolan, but now they can go for the Matilda Faramis again. And who is Nolan supposed to target in that situation?
They kept the draft wide open just to take that Nolan. Wasn't worth it, Gideon?
Personally, I agree with Rashi. I don't think it might necessarily be worthwhile unless they've got an advantage when it comes down to the EXP. Because I'm thinking if they're going Faramis, Matilda, that's like, okay, pretty good for the side of Team SMG. If they add any more dashes, it's a good sign for 4 Miracle to decide maybe Phobius as an EXP laner might be a potential solution.
Actually, I've seen Phobius like making Nolan players suffer.
Yeah, it's a strong pick against. But for SMG, they would rather get that Martis, so the Faramis is available if 4 Miracle wants to try and experiment a bit with that. Like you mentioned though, with a lot of dashes comes the threat of the Phobius. But yeah, I still agree. The problem is you pick an assassin and you're letting go all these stronger heroes. Now it's an assassin up against a strong fighter like the Martis with the backing of the Matilda, right? We saw that earlier. Even against the Akai, the Matilda can just 1v1 duel him.
And you can tell that SMG's Matilda, especially, and if it is with Miko, maybe they'll we'll see something shift on during the draft. But so far, I think Miko will be the one who's playing Matilda, and he has proven himself at the first game. He's pretty annoying.
He has proved himself, and I think that, it feels like
Oh,
for
an Ixia.
Miracle, yeah. After that first pick, they're prioritizing making sure, yo, Lunatic Panda, you're going to have twice the amount of farm than you had last game because you're on Nolan. But we cannot let this Ixia fall into the hands of Team SMG, especially when they have a Matilda. We've seen what it can do.
Asking the TAA right now, who banned that Ixia last game? Was it
game?
for Miracle themselves?
It was SMG actually in the second phase. First ban of the second phase was the Ixia, so this might be a bit of a power pick. And we were talking a lot about the waves, right? The wave control, the laning from both these teams. With an Ixia and a Lilia, that's a lot of wave clear. So there's a lot more ways for America to be aggressive. The question is, who's going to enable, right? What kind of roamer are they going to pick to enable this Nolan, Ixia, and Lilia to really get their damage out? Especially with the Fulvia secured for SMG.
So is it time to have a TAG, a tactical analyst Gideon?
Don't worry, I'll tag in, no problem. Because I think in situations like this, Team SMG really need to consider the fact that, yes, okay, we've got some mega damage, but she's immobile. The only way to be able to close that distance is to take ground. So now we're looking for aggressive type supports. Enchanter-style supports are definitely something to keep in mind, but that means that it's going to be squishier. I feel that personally, that if For Miracle is thinking about anything, it's about disengage, but it's also something that's able to peel. I'm thinking Lolita, it could be a possibility. Kufra sounds like a good idea, but it might be counterintuitive.
I think the Angela really comes to mind. I think if SMG don't ban it, it's going to be a real shame if Miracle doesn't really capitalize. The combo of the Ixia and Angela, I don't know if you guys have gone up against it in ranked, but it does a huge amount of damage, and you also have the hard guard and the extra bit of healing, so it's almost like double sustain for the Ixia. And if you get ahead, you can 1v4 and to some degree 1v5 depending on how ahead you are. But the Esmeralda is what SMG try and deny. This is a signature pick for Miracle, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of shields going on at Team SMG, so I think it's a justified ban for me. But I've actually seen on the screen a while ago one of the audience, maybe 2, maybe 3, I don't know how many was there for Team SMG, that's they were like doing with their hands 2-0, 2-0. So they are pretty confident that Team SMG can bring this home and can take this game to their favor. But going on to the second phase of drafting, or like the second phase of banning and finishing it by focusing the marksman after taking the Ixia. And on the other side, having a little bit both worlds.
Now I'm wondering if SMG, are they going to pick the Angela instead? They went with like a double sustain kind of playstyle, but without the Faramis. You know, Faramis on the Ixia, you can kind of shut her down, right? Pop the Netherrealm. But with the Angela, it's a bit more intuitive. But no, they go for the Arlet instead right here. It's going to be in the EXP lane. So a strong EXP laner, we've seen what Smooth can do with that. What will Masarab take to try and counter this?
But TAG, isn't it too much, or like, isn't it disgusting already in terms of shields for Team SMG? Do they need an Angela? Actually, if they put an Angela above this, I think it's pretty disgusting.
I mean, it'd be the hospital meta, you know? We'd be hitting our 911 emergency button. If you're Malaysian, it's 999. But like, I think I agree with you here when we're talking about Angela, right? I think that Team SMG going for the Arlet is actually the smarter play, because it's actually a really good way to punish the Lilia if she walks up too far. And now for Miracle, and I think, you know, Almox has good experience here, locking in the high, but also making sure that they are getting some strong laners like Yuzong to really threaten their opponent.
Oh wait, there was a fast pick. There was a fast pick. It's a Beatrix.
It is going to be a Beatrix with that burst damage. It switched hands. It was in the hands of For Miracle earlier, but now for SMG. I guess it works out, you know. There's a lot of damage right here. They can be shut down by the Arlet and the Marcus as well. So for Miracle, they went back to the Akai right here, but they understand that they had losing lanes earlier that really made it difficult for them to get anything in game number 1.
Well,
so
I have a habit of guessing which team have the better draft. So I will let you tell me which team do you think won the draft.
I feel like on paper, just at a glance, SMG I think has the better one.
But I think that also for Miracle are bringing something new.
They are bringing something unique. Really a test of faith, a battle for the top here between Team SMG versus For Miracle. Currently Team SMG at match point.
They are now at match point. They can take this 2-0 and fully sweep Team 4 Miracle. We already came from a sweep, so we might just see another, right?
That'll be a big turn, man. We saw a lot of 2-1s yesterday, but today it's a lot of 2-0s instead, potentially. Well, for the Phobias, by the way, looking at battle spells, he does go for the Flame Shot. He uses it already very early on. It's a Phobias mid, by the way. Smooth is the one being in the EXP lane.
And Akai roam. Actually, while looking at Team 4 Miracle, I didn't look so much towards who is roaming, but an Akai roam, have we seen that work quite much? I haven't actually seen Akai play at roam that I already forgot that he is a tank. I got used to see him as a jungle.
Back in Indonesia, the term we use for a roaming Akai is a vlogger Akai. Because until level 4, all you do is a vlogger Akai.
What is a vlogger Akai?
Because all you do is just follow around and you can't really do a lot until you have that heavy spin. So you're just moving around. Hey guys, look at the land of dawn. This is a great view.
I'm spinning, and that's it.
Well, he has to wait for the level 4 first. That's the main problem. Now Lunatic Panda though.
Oh, the flicker coming up from Smooth, forcing Lunatic Panda to get on pop his ult to get the heck out of there. And Miko just consistently denying his recalls.
Dude!
Let the man play the game, Miko. Come on.
Getting under his skin. He already got under his skin. Game 1 wasn't enough. Miko wants to last for a long time in the memory of Lunatic Panda.
But for Akai, back to that point, man, now it's a bit better after some changes to his kit, but it's still gonna be a long time before he gets any real impact. Look at the damage though!
Oh, big damage, really nicely done. Saksa secures it with the help of the Decimate, but unfortunately, Clock, he's just busy doing other things, right? He's got a lot of areas to worry about. He can't cover everything, but even on top side, we finally see it. The full barrage is chunking it out, and with the help of Lunatic's Panda to make sure that he cannot get away.
Fights everywhere.
Fights are happening all the time, and Saksa making sure that he at least secures this turtle.
Well, they are flying up there.
Oh, yep, Demonic Force once again. Box it once more, and with the help of Miko, gets right back out. Miko secures the kill.
Miko, enough! Leave Lunatic Panda be!
Man, they're smooth on their team, but Miko is an absolute smooth criminal right here. Getting his friends out, getting his friends in as well. Team SMG, they can really take over. And for Miracle, they're just a loss. What can they do?
Masara.
Even Masara falling behind here.
Yeah, I mean, they're just bleeding it all over the place, right? It's not like the laners are doing a bad job. It's what the jungle, provided with the help of a support, can really provide to your team when they are faster. And look at that. All that turret plating going over to the right people. Miko, gonna get on out there. No circling eagle for the time being.
Well, I don't know how much patience does it take to deal with someone like Miko, to be honest, because this guy has taken it so far, so far. He's so irritating, annoying. You can call it whatever you want, but you cannot call his performance forgettable. It is unforgettable. Miko is just living his life, his best life. Maybe he is the vlogger for Team SMG.
I think Clock was the vlogger, and look at him now. He's just waiting around. He has a heavy spin.
Watching.
Can he get something though? He's way too low. Ooh, Lunatic Panda secures the purple buff still. But this is the benefit, right? Now the Akai. Oh my lord.
No. Wait, we're in the circling eagle. Okay. He goes out. He goes out. Miko thought that he could close the distance by using one of For Miracle Esports' members to get on top of Clock and maybe get a flicker out of him. But now, 60 seconds until the turtle.
We saw this adjustment before. When the Akai is a jungler, he gets harassed too much. Now the Akai is a roamer, so he can really play around with his combination, letting Lunatic Panda have more space. But so far, everyone else is still falling behind in the lanes, despite the strong picks they're going for.
Oh, here comes Smooth, once again, using his marks to get free resets with his Vengeance, but still being annoying. Stormy has to be a little careful here. You can't walk up too far, as the rest of the team comes on in. Miko with Circling Eagle on top of Clock's side and gets on top of Masarap. And at the same time, Xerox trying to zone them away. They lock it down perfectly. Set up here by Masarap is petrified. Black Dragon form to get his way out of there, but Stormy able to secure the kill onto Clock with a Demonic Force.
Lunatic Panda just tries to go. Is he gonna be able to go back?
And manages to flicker away, but it doesn't matter. It's Smooth making sure that Vengeance is paid due.
Team SMG, or actually Miko behind the scenes is just controlling and playing mind games with Team 4 Miracle. Team 4 Miracle are having the same exact beginning. A passive beginning, a bad one.
And can now Saksa go for this? He does get the purple.
No purple.
Getting away. Oh, Miko though, whoa!
Whoa, buddy, let's count.
He's insane.
I mean, I
Let's
feel
have
that,
some peace.
Yeah, there is no peace. Team SMG, this is the most aggressive we've seen them comparatively to game number 1. But now, Miko, the guy, whoa, wait, oh!
What is going on?
Why?
Hey, time reversal. Let's just pretend that was time
Yeah,
reversal
no one
there.
saw anything. Yeah, no one saw
it's not like his cooldown is ominous flicker is down or anything. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, we don't look at the flickers, right? That's not important. For Miko though, because he does have all these mobility tools, and look at him, man. He is fearless, literally. He doesn't fear any chance of for Miracle making a play to really punish him. And who can blame him? Right now, nothing has happened just yet, and this mid lane Phobius is a huge problem. You would
Yeah.
doubt it, but you know, back in its heyday, it's big. Now it's still massive with all the dashes available to use.
And Saksa just gonna easily retribute it away. This is so annoying. He's halfway through the river. Miko quickly grab delivers him to where he needs to be. And now they combine together to take out Masaram immediately after the Furious dive.
How much cold-blooded should you be to be like that, Miko? Miko have absolute no mercy. He's playing as if he was on the blue side. He's living inside their jungle, literally living inside their jungle.
Don't forget about Saksa though, because he's also very active right here. He's 2 levels ahead of Lunatic Panda, despite the Nolan fast clear, because of Miko,
True.
right? Look at where he is right now. He's not even, like,
Yeah.
Lunatic Panda is not even close to his buff, and Miko is already there. Like, what's up? We're ready. And just like that, Saksa comes in, the buff gets denied once again. SMG, absolutely relentless.
Yeah, it seems like he owns that map, man. He just like, he is everywhere. He is doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. Miko is just a master at work.
Ooh, right there. Another circling eagle, immediate cancel, just to scare for Miracle Esports. And this is the problem when your roamer has been just way too active. With Miko just threatening the circling eagle and going in aggressively again and again, now when it's a bit of a bait circling eagle, for Miracle can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Right? They just have forced to react immediately as if it's gonna happen, and that's throwing them off. SMG, man, especially the Miko-Saksa combination, they're playing like for Miracle owes them money.
Actually, this guy literally just woke up and chose violence.
I feel like in this case, it feels like they owe Miko money. He's like, hey man, all those grabs that you've been asking me to pay for you, I want that gold back.
He just walks out of the jungle, yo, where it's at? Where the money at?
Where is my money?
And the thing is, for Miracle Esports can't shoo him away. They picked up this Lilia to really try and get dominance in the mid lane, but this Phobius is absolutely outperforming it. Now he's 1 level behind. I don't know if he even has the core items just yet. In a long fight, the Lilia can still be a big problem, but they can't be this far behind if they really want to try and have a chance.
Yeah, actually, speaking of chances, there's no chance whatsoever for Team 4 Miracle to breathe. They cannot breathe. They are suffocating, and the one who is the one who's causing all that is Miko. I'm just gonna shout out to this guy. He is controlling everything. Like if he was the maestro, if I was to choose a maestro, I would definitely choose Miko because he's holding the string. He's playing on every string.
He's being annoying once again, getting a good Soul Bloom onto Lunatic's Panda and chunking him out for like a good chunk of his health. He's down to 54% HP, and I don't know how he's going to try and contest this, but Team SMG, they're purposely resetting this Lord so that the rest of Team SMG can actually cover the map.
They don't want the Lord, they want the fight. They want to fight.
You can be tactical with the lore take, man. Now look at what the positioning is. They're just so impudent right now. They have 3 members on the Lord, and their what is supposed to be their main damage source is on the other side. It doesn't even matter, dude. There's just no opposition coming in from Miracle Esports. Saksa's gonna get this Lord for free.
He should get that Lord for free. He deserves it.
All
He
this
deserves
damage. He runs into like Lunatic Panda, but that damage though, this is why you're reminded that Mathilda used to be a mid laner, right?
Yeah.
Of course, there are changes now, but that damage, especially 1v1, is still nothing to ignore, dude. That is insane.
Well, I wonder, will we see a really good outplay coming from Miko, since that Lord is approaching from the top lane, and Team SMG will have the perfect setup as always. Minions are aligned, everything is looking really good, and Team SMG just might take the game in a really short time.
Speaking of which, the final slash from Smooth has already been used. Same goes for the Star Helix. Sharezu being propped by Masara, but Smooth feels nothing. The shield's coming out from Miko, enough to sustain him for now.
Oh,
as
Black
he's trying to break
Dragon.
through the Black Dragon form to zone them away from the inhibitor turrets. This high ground defense looking pretty good for Miracle as long as no inhibitors end up falling. Team
Keep
SMG.
minions coming.
Oh, they're not pulling the trigger just yet. This might be an opportunity.
Oh!
With no minion. Oh, wait, blocked down to Smooth. And now the full barrage.
Oh!
Smooth locked down. Can't do much. Doesn't get
Whoa!
saved by Miko. And that's one.
Oh!
That's 2 for 2 trade.
It's still absolutely worth it for Miracle Esports though, and Sasa now in a duel against Xerox. The Shang supposed to clear the wave, save the turret, but SMG, they want it bad. But have they made a mistake though?
They want to fight. They want to fight.
Nabir's passion already used, and now Sasa flickers. He sees the flickers, he smells blood. Doesn't secure the kills, but this is more than enough. Team SMG still maintain their 6.2k lead.
At this point, they seem like sharks. Once they smell blood in the sea, once they smell blood in the water, they just go for it. They just go hunt it down. Team SMG are more aggressive than they have been at the first game, 100%.
They just dove into the turret, man. I mean, they did trade 2 for 2 though. So in the grand scheme of things, it's worth it for Miracle Esports because they didn't lose the top turret either. Team SMG is a bit overzealous, wanting to try and extend their dominance here. Then I think they also realized that day one performance when they were just not aggressive enough, and I think it might have been drilled into them by their coach, like, yo, if you have the advantage, push it and don't let your opponents breathe. But now without managing the waves, they might just lose a bottom turret for free there.
Yeah, and allow me to use it again. Team Miracle at this exact moment do need a miracle to make this work out.
Yep, here comes the Circling Eagle once again, hoping to bait something out.
Ooh.
The most that they got, wow, that was a shot. The most they got was the Black Shoes and chunking out Lunatic Panda.
Oh, by the way, in the previous fight, Smooth was the main target, but with the way the Vengeance works, right? How he can actually get through a lot of crowd control until the animation ends, he got behind Clock. That really was almost a good play. He was en route to be pushed into the turret, into the base of Miracle, but he Vengeance past Clock and he was pinned on the other side of the wall instead, which allows Team SMG to strike back. But now they've seen that for Miracle, they're putting up a fight and they are just scheming, right? Waiting for the right moment to really get a value play. But with Miko on the watch, they have to try and maybe bait something out first.
And it makes him live up to his name, Smooth, after all.
They know that they don't have Circling Eagle no more, but just for Miracle, kind of want to walk up here. Saxa's level 15, but Miko
Where is the jungler?
and Stormy are making it difficult. He's in the mid lane right now. Lunatic Panda, he's 2 levels down, and he's trying to figure out a way in, but Smooth is just not letting him just body blocking him, literally man-to-man defense.
You can tell that Lunatic Panda was not trying to go for the steal anyways. He was expending the bulk of his stacks, right? To really clear the wave and farm up the jungle. Just trying to get it out of the way before Team SMG come barreling in with the Lord. Looking at the items here, Clock of Destiny still for Stormy, but the Ice Queen's wand, that is the danger, man. He lands one Demonic Force, and just like that, you are slowed in, you get hit with everything else, the eye as well, pulling you back. And with the Flame Shot, by the way, for those of you just who are not aware, if he pushes you back with the Flame Shot, he can hit you with a Demonic Force again. So that is an extra 1 jump, technically, which is why a lot of Phobias always brings it into brings that battle spell as well.
Yeah, and I would tell you for sure that there was something also that we didn't mention. There is a lot of miscommunication happening from the side of Team Miracle because they divided into 2. Some of them wants to go for that Lord Seal and some of them wants to go for the fight bar. Let's see if this will be the end.
As they start pushing in, 1 inhibitor has fallen, and 4 Miracle are just trying to hold on to whatever they have left of this game. 8.60, oh man, even Saxa's Assure's aura even is still pretty deadly. And Stormy not making it easy for 4 Miracle to find that opening. Lunatic Panda with the help of the conceal, loops around, they lose another inhibitor
Oh!
once more, but here comes Clock trying to lock down Saksa, the full barrage being imminent. Saksa is able to tactically roll out of there just in time, and not even the Black Dragon form able to catch up and close that distance. No petrified combinations, nothing. 2 inhibitors and no kills to show for it.
I was gonna say that their wave management isn't ideal, but now we're having one more wave back here after they've expanded the Black Dragon form already. They can go for a play.
Oh, Black Shoes being forced out almost instantly. Xerox, he's got to be careful. He's got nothing left, no failsafe to actually protect him as the next wave collapses. They will be able to get the last inhibitor. Smooth finds form with a final slash. Nicely played as he gets away from the crystal.
Speaking of smooth, he's just so smooth, man, in executing everything he wanted. Final slashes, normal slashes, whatever slash you want him to do. He's just so smooth at every execution he had. But so far, Team SMG have done the same thing, focusing on objectives, just a little bit more aggressive, and I think quite more aggressive than usual.
Yep, here we go. Demonic Force. Oh my god! Another final slash from Smooth to set Stormy up for success. The full barrage is there, but Stormy and Smooth look him in the eye and say, no more. Team SMG take this next game. They've got no minions, but the inevitable has come. Masarap will try his best. He's trying to clear these waves, but Smooth says no once again. GG, well played.
Team SMG without final slash. That was the only thing they needed. That was the only thing they needed to pull off to make it a clean sweep. And he does actually sweeps his enemy.
You see the audience just overjoyed, man, saying it's an easy 2-0.
Wow.
Dude, can you even argue with that statement though? They made it look simple. For Miracle tried everything they could there, but every single thing they threw at SMG got like rebounded back to them even harder.
Yep, they weren't able to find those angles. They weren't able to find the plays. A lot of this was just a game of positioning. How do you position yourself against your opponents? And now they're going to go with the fist bumps here. Wow, this has been so brutal for Miracle.
And to get in touch with the players themselves, let's go to stage and hear some words.
Congratulations, SMG. Let's give him a round of applause. Well done. You guys haven't lost yet. Okay, give me an inside scoop. Can we just show the camera? Miko, why? What is this? Okay, you have something written on your hand. Actually, we've been meaning to ask you that earlier. We saw it. It says ERDFIH/EX M5, and it says Pogi. Is that what I think it is? Pogi means handsome in Tagalog. Can you give us an inside scoop on what that is?
ER, early rotation.
Oh.
DF, don't force.
Don't force.
And then IH, inhale, exhale.
Inhale, exhale. Wait, hold on. Those things sound pretty simple, but why do you write that on your hand?
So if